But anyway, Palworld came out. We've been looking forward to this one for a little bit. Pokemon with guns.
I was so ready for Palworld. I was up at 2 a.m. and bought it.
Damn, that is dedication.
I woke up the next morning and I saw, like, you weren't even the only person on my friends list who had bought it already. And I was like, damn.
I had streams running. I was ready. As soon as I did fall asleep for a bit, so I did miss the opening first thing of about an hour, but I woke back up at 2 and went, all right, bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had started a world and I was playing last night. I hear like the Discord join sound, and all Zach says is, "Give me an invite code."
Yeah, that was the first.
Not even like, "Hey man, how's it going?"
It wasn't hi, hey, I want an invite.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's dedication.
Because I saw him and one of our Discord friends on it.
I think the big thing, just like the general TLDR, before we kind of really dive into our thoughts that I want to throw out there with Palworld, is like, just very thankful they stuck the landing. You know what I mean? Very thankful for that.
I was about to say, the main thing that they've had a big problem is just servers being overloaded.
Yeah.
Well, it's like the other one thing that's very noticeable after I realized it is the developers of the game are also people who develop Craftopia.
Yeah, which I did play Craftopia,
which is another game that I've played.
Yep.
That remember how I've bitched before about what Breath of the Wild has done to a lot of these games?
Yep.
That's one of them.
Yeah.
They remade they redid a lot of the systems in that game to make it more Breath of the Wild. Mm-hmm. And it's like I think me and a lot of other people preferred it the way it was before. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the systems, as far as like the crafting upgrades, or not necessarily all the upgrades, but a lot of the crafting systems and everything, it's just a 1-to-1 pullover from Craftopia. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it came out. It's one of those where I didn't pay much attention to it. I was excited for it just based on Zach talking about it occasionally and seeing the trailers for it. I didn't know what the game was until like 24 hours before it came out. Which is it's like an open world survival craft game.
Yep.
Which then I was very, very excited for it.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Like their whole, throughout all the years that we've known about it, they've been putting stuff out and whatnot.
Yep.
Like small trailers here and there.
Yep.
But the fact that they didn't do like a hard push until like the week before worked out very well for them, because just about every single VTuber that I take interest in, every single one of them played it up before Friday with early access codes.
Yep.
And like I was like, God damn.
Mm-hmm. Which, ultimately, that was the best move just because it kind of took pressure off of them, you know, and just let them cooked. That was the main thing, because it's not like they're one of those studios where it's like when they announce a game, it's like, it's going to be great, and then it's like they go radio silent. It's just like they're cooking.
To be fair, like John just said, the whole Craftopia thing, that really only popped out this week. Most people really digging into it and were like, oh, yeah, they did this too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because it's like I was looking on their website a couple of days before it came out, or before Palworld releases, and I'm like, oh, these are the... I was like, because I remembered hearing it before or noticing it before, but forgot.
Yeah.
And I was on their website, and I was like, oh, these are the Craftopia people. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Which, then I was a little nervous of it because, like I said, it's like
that was the same reaction from Discord friends I haven't had too.
I was a little nervous of it because of the big changes they made to Craftopia, and I much enjoyed the previous iteration of it. Mm-hmm. But no, Palworld, I don't know. Like so far, it's fantastically weird.
Yeah, I think the main thing about Palworld is like while there is some issues you'll see there. Like I know you mentioned servers. I've had my game crash, and I've had a couple little dumb glitches and stuff like that happen.
Oh, it bricked my computer last night.
Did it? God, dude. There's some issues like that, but the point of like them sticking the landing is like the game's fun to play.
Yes, it is.
That's the main thing to take away is that the game is fun to play. You actually feel like there's a lot to do. There's a lot of substance there to kind of a lot of meat on the bone of the shit to do. And that's the main thing about sticking the landing on this, and it's like that's where I feel like other ones have failed, like Tim, for example. Tim failed just because it's like it was such a short-lived thing. And could Palworld be? Yeah.
Well,
I mean, we're only like a full day in now, but like, I mean, do we see the player counts on Steam? Like, I think we're in good shape.
The other difference there is Palworld, because of the way they structured their trailers and the way they didn't give a whole lot of information out about their game.
Yeah.
Everybody just went, it's Pokemon with guns.
Yes.
So that's all everyone did. It's not actually what the game is.
It's what a lot of people that I've seen said it's more Rust with Pokemon.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
That's
I've
the
seen
thing.
that comment
It's like
too.
this is Arc with Pokemon.
Yeah,
basically.
I've seen Arc, I've seen Rust. Those are the ones I've seen. It's like it's just this with Pokemon.
Yeah, it's
but
Arc
with guns.
it's Arc with Pokemon instead of dinosaurs.
Yes. And I mean, one of the other things that really makes it good is just the world does feel alive because when you go exploring, you will find pals fighting each other. Syndicate, whatever the hell they are, they'll be fighting pals for whatever reason. So like, there's stuff going on in the world when you're just roaming around that makes it feel alive.
And things just can kind of continue to kind of regenerate, respawn, and
Yes.
stuff too. So I mean, that's the main thing too, is that the world doesn't feel dead and empty.
Which also, I don't know if when you created your world, you looked into it much.
Probably
but
not.
there are. I looked into the world settings.
Yeah, I glanced at that last night.
The world settings, like one thing Arc has that is fantastic is their world settings. So you can change. They have like a scroll down 100 or more option list of how you can adjust the respawn timers, aggressiveness, like everything about that game. You get a lot of those options in this. So you can change respawn times, aggression, like how many things spawn, how long things stay spawned on the ground, and things like that. So there's a lot of options in there.
Yeah.
Which I think is great because you can. It's like if you kind of just want to go into it casually, and like one thing in particular is like incubating eggs. It's like takes a little bit. So if you just want it to put it in there and it's done, you can do that. You can change your settings to have that when you load up your world. And as I found out today, every time you load your world in, you can change your settings and it's not going to fuck with what you got. Because I changed a few things, just like minor things as far as like turning raids off, because I wasn't sure if the other people in my world could get raided if they weren't there.
Oh, fair.
But yeah, the game so far is it's a lot of fun, and exploring is great because it's like you'll go to one area and it's like you just see some little creatures in the distance. You're like, fuck is that?
Yeah. If I caught that one,
I don't know what that one is. What is that one?
Yeah.
And you just go run it over.
And that part of it gives you that feel of like what Scarlet and Violet was, or Legends Arceus, where it's just like, ooh, which Pokemon over there? Ooh, I haven't
I'm
been
gonna be
over that
honest,
direction.
it gives me more feel of like the original time I played Pokemon because like I didn't know what any of these creatures were. I couldn't take a guess of what it was.
Right.
Even now with this, I get the same thing with Pals. Like, the fuck is that? What the fuck is it doing?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have so much fun when you get on later, Zach, and I show you what I've got now, or like some of the different ones I got, because I got some. The range is from some really badass, cool looking shit.
Some dopey.
I got a dopey shark called a Demut or something like that. It's the most cartoony, dopey looking shark I've ever seen. I showed it to Peter earlier, and he couldn't help. He busted out laughing.
Yeah, I'll have to wait because I got to go run in the woods and find my stuff. Because I died before we got off last night.
Oh, unfortunate.
And the worst part is not near any fast travel point.
Actually, it might be. I explored a lot of the world today.
As far as I could tell at the time, I've had no fast travel pop up on my map.
But yeah,
Have you guys started more than one world?
I've only got the one so far.
I mean, I opened up one last night just to
Okay.
mess with a couple things.
I was just wondering, like, this is whenever you spawn in the map, is it always gonna be the same point, or if you're all spawned in a different spot?
You all, as far as I'm aware, you always start at that beginning island step,
That
and you
beach.
start from scratch every time.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if it'd be like somewhere else. You know what I mean?
No.
Okay.
But yeah, I will say one thing is we probably played for like 2 or 3 hours last night before we even really thought about going exploring.
Yeah.
There's just a lot to do. I mean, it's a survival crafting game.
Yeah.
So the beginning of it is gather your sticks, gather your stones, build up your little base, and then it's like, and you got to do that for a little bit before you put all the pals to work. Because as you level up your base by basically just improving it, and like the game will tell you to like put these two things down, and you can level up your base.
Yeah, little missions, whatever.
Just about every time you level up your base, you can add, or you get another PAL slot to have them working there. And yeah, it's like once you level it up a few times, you got a good little workforce going.
Yeah, it starts going.
And each different PAL has different stats for what they're good at at the base. So it's like some of them will have like a 1 on wood cutting. Some of them have a 3 or something, and that's how much more efficient they are at it.
Yeah.
And each PAL, when you get them, or like when you catch them, they all can have different abilities.
Yeah,
and
traits.
Different traits. They can have multiple traits.
Yep.
There's special ones out there that are glowing that have traits. So far, all of the glowing ones that I've seen have had the lucky trait.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, all of that kind of just goes in. It's like, because it's like you could have one that has, or it's like you can get them and they can have really good like base traits. Because I've caught some, or I've hatched some from eggs too, where I look at them and I'm like, man, I kind of want to use this thing around. I look at its traits and everything. I'm like, oh man, it'd be really good in the base though. So then he goes to be the part of the workforce until he starts slacking off, and then he gets replaced. It's a no nonsense workplace right there.
Yeah.
Because from what I've seen, if the, I guess, sanity or whatever of the pals, if it gets low enough, they will revolt against you.
Oh yeah, the little fox dude, like the early ones, you know. Yeah, one of his updates that I saw. Everyone else was cool, man. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, we're in a great mood. We're working. We're having a great time. We're getting fed and stuff." He was just like, he's very upset because of the work conditions. I'm like, "What work conditions? Like, what's wrong?"
Yeah. You don't get work conditions.
Same thing. One of mine was doing that. He was complaining about it, and I'm like, okay, we'll see about that. I go over the PAL box and I look through it. I'm like, I don't remember which one it was. It was a grass one.
Yeah.
And I see another grass one in my PAL box, literally right next to it, and I'm like, this one is just you, but better in the workforce. Swap.
Yeah, I binged mine too. I was like, "Fine, if you're gonna bitch, you're going in the box, okay?"
See, the like, if you
complain or stop working, you live in the box.
The better thing you could have is replace it, release it, and then beat it to death right there in the ground.
I love whenever you do beat pals, like their dead body, they're not even dead. They're just they're like knocked out.
Yeah.
Like they're just sitting there. You can just like kick them around and stuff.
Yeah, ragdoll.
I like to leave some around Zach's base.
Yeah, he does.
I throw anytime like they're near my base, whatever. I'm right by a creek, right?
Yeah.
And they like come in and try to attack me or stuff. We knock them out. I just like dump their body in the creek. I'm like, get out of here. I just watch.
You know what?
We have 3 bases. So when you start, you exit out of that like cave.
Yeah.
We have 3 bases like 10 feet out in front of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's ever a big raid, I mean, any of us can just roll up and just start murdering the shit out of them.
It was basically just like I made one, and then my other buddy, he put one down across from me, and then Zach's running around a little bit later going, what do you mean it's in the base territory? Trying to just put it down. Because they expand out as you level up.
Yeah. And then you can also do the same thing with like the human NPCs. Just kill them. Dump them in the river. That's what I did.
Or
there was a merchant.
Or you can put them to work.
You can capture them.
Yeah, you can capture them, put them to work. There was a merchant that just kept walking around my base, and it made me mad. So I stabbed him to death and just dumped him in the river.
You know what's bad about the whole ragdolling thing? Because one of the things I thought about, depending on how many bases you can build, is just in a world make a bunch of gems, and I was going to make a dark one with just a bunch of dead pals laying around it.
Oh God, Jesus.
I don't know. I went on a bit of a training arc earlier,
Okay.
where I basically just went to a zone that was a little bit higher level with like I think I took 2 that I had just hatched.
Yeah.
And went out there with like the strongest ones I had. I throw them out there, and it was right when I got my musket too, so I'm just blasting. And
So I went blasting.
it was just like they were rolling everywhere. There were a couple of them that had been dead for a while. I come back and they're over there. Their wings are still flapping on the ground. I'm like, man, I gotta get out of here.
No, and the game definitely has that difficulty curve. I mean, like you get a pal that's just a few levels higher than you, you can get fucking one shot. Like you can get obliterated. I've caught a couple pals that are higher level than me. Found out they get de-leveled whenever. So I was like, oh, that's kind of disappointing. But at least they look cool.
One thing. Okay, I love this about this game. So in Legends Arceus, because you mentioned that before, they have the alpha Pokemon.
Yep.
When you catch them, they're still big, but they're a little bit smaller than they were in their alpha, like when they were in the wild.
Okay, so like the mammoth, who's like the king of the forest, it's walking around my base right now.
Yeah.
when you catch the big ones, they stay that big.
Really?
Yes.
Nice. Yeah, 'cause that king of the forest.
That's
that
one
mammoth,
thing. Like I can't wait for Zach to see my base because it's just a collection of everything that I've needed to build, just in the open on the ground. And I live in a 1x1 house. I put a potted plant in there earlier.
Oh, it's some decoration. Nice.
See, the best part is he has a 1x1 house. I have a house that's open, has like a single wall and a roof, so I can use my bed.
That's all you need.
And it's the rest of it's open.
That's all you need.
But yeah, it's like I made what I was required to, and then I have not went back to making a house.
Yeah, and I'm same here. All three of us, we're like the perfect example of that meme of where it's just like a living room of an apartment, and all there is like a single crappy chair, a TV, and a console, and it's just like Min thinks this is perfect. It's just like, hey, it works.
Then there's the other person in that John's World Curly. He did a whole house.
He made a big old house of that. He's not using it.
He's not.
Look, I'll build a little bit bigger of a house, but I'm not building a big house.
Well, that's the thing. It's like this is my first base.
Yeah.
I can make a second base now. I'm just flying around the world trying to find out where I want to build my base.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I build my next base, then I'll actually put a little effort into my building and actually try to organize where stuff goes.
Yeah, mine's definitely not organized. Can you move stuff around at your base?
You can dismantle it.
Yeah, you have to dismantle it.
Okay. Yeah.
Question, John. Did you eventually get a better chest?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get a metal chest.
When?
You're not far from it. Do you have metal tools?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not far.
Cool.
It's like 1 or 2 more levels for you then. But yeah, it's a blast right now, especially because I've got the amount of like not just like saddles that you can put on, but like harnesses.
Yeah,
gloves,
the PAL equipment.
Yeah, the different PAL equipment. Like I've got like 4 different ones now that, as long as they're in my party, that they act as a glider. I've got ones that I can use as grenades. I've got varying mounts ranging from fast and useful to slow and what's the point. I've got a couple flying ones now. They're both cool. But yeah, it's like, not even just the mounts, like the Firefox you get at the beginning of it. You get a harness for it, carried around, flamethrower.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the harness and the upgrade stuff. The technology, whatever.
There's
my little monkey that I give him an assault rifle.
I want the monkey.
There's a couple where you put like a necklace, you put it on them, and then when you're running around, they're just out and they engage in combat with you. Mm-hmm. So it's like I'm 1 level away from having 2 of them out.
Nice.
But yeah, it's like they're just varying ones like that. There's some that aren't even like combat focused. Like our buddy on the server, he's got one that it roams around with him out and it just gathers resources while he walks around.
Oh, that's helpful.
But yeah, it's like, and then like the pals, they all have like their different abilities and that. There's some that are, it's like, yeah, you can run around in combat with them, but they're also it's like they also just boost up like your gathering stats. Mm-hmm. Like I've got some that whenever I go out mining, like traveling around to mine, I just carry him with me because he increases my mining proficiency by 20%.
Yeah, that is a nice thing that all the pals have like a different just support trait for just being in the party.
Yeah, it's like you just bring them with you, and they make you do something better.
One of the things that I've found interesting that I stumbled upon is just this game's version of TMs. They're just fruit.
Yeah.
You just feed your pals. Because I found a random tree with 3 of them on it.
Yeah, I found several of those trees. I was confused on the first one that I found because I assume it's the one you found because it was empty. But I found a few more of them now, so I fly around and
They still haven't respawned on that tree?
I found it yesterday.
Oh, okay.
When we were playing.
Gotcha.
I don't remember where it was. But yeah, it's like there's like little stuff around the world too. It's like when you defeat pals and stuff, occasionally you get keys.
Yeah.
There's chests around the world that you can open up and get money and resources from. There's also what are they, the little statue things?
Oh yeah, the effigies.
Yeah, the effigies around the world that you can get. They're fucking everywhere.
Yes, they are.
There's no rhyme or reason to where they're placed.
There is no reason.
It's like a lot of them are like on the top of cliffs or they're on cliff sides. They'll be on mountains, on cliff sides, places that are hard to see unless you're like flying out or you're in the water and that.
Unless somebody codes them, it's literally just set on a random spawn generator.
Hey, love it.
Because I was going, like, I fell off of the cliff that I was on and I was sliding down and I get to the bottom. There's like a little alcove in there with a rock kind of jutting out, and there was one in there, and I looked at it and I went, "Who the fuck put you there?"
The sad part is, if it's not on a random generator, because I know there's at least some that are probably on set spots, but then yeah, all the other ones that are just rabbit ass cliff sides and whatnot, I'm just like.
But yeah, it's like you collect the effigies, and you can turn them in, and every time you turn in, you have to turn in more the next time, and it just increases your catching power.
So you can use stuff better. Then you collect pal souls to use to increase the base stats of your pals.
Yeah, pal souls would it's kind of like the calcium and stuff in Pokemon.
Yep.
Where it's like you use the souls to increase their stats, whether it be attack, defense, work, speed, or
HP.
Yeah. So it's like you can increase them there, and then I've seen small, medium, and large souls. So I don't know if there's anything more than that.
Not that I've been able to see.
But yeah, it's been fun. Today I've mostly just been. I mean, hell, a lot of today I've just been exploring around and then traveling around to get resources.
I assume you haven't finished the PAL deck yet? No, I ain't.
Not even close.
The thing that sort of really threw me off is I wasn't expecting the dungeons.
Yeah, there are little dungeons.
Are there? Okay.
Yeah, there's little dungeons hidden around, which
I love that. Let's go.
Well, because there's dungeons and then there's
instant zones.
There's boss fights. So as you travel around, you'll see like an icon on the map that has one of the PAL faces on it, and usually those you show up to and you'll get a big health bar for the PAL that's there, or you'll have to go through a teleporter into a boss fight. But either way, it's like those are spawned locations. Like they'll be there, and after if you catch them, kill them, whatever, you'll get a timer of when they come back. And then there's dungeons, which these dungeons are fucking confusing.
Yeah, they're a bit odd.
There's no rhyme or reason to which way you have to go.
It's quite literally just at least the one that I did with John. It was just a cave, and there was a complete dead end path.
I went into another one while you were having all your tech problems, and I didn't even find the boss. I just gave up. I found like 4 dead ends. I made my way back to the beginning. I was like, I'm not fucking looking. I don't remember where I've been.
And the other nice thing I think about it, just because the worlds can hold up to apparently 32 players at once.
I saw that, yeah.
Is the thing that you can enter these dungeons and instances if you enter at the same time with other players, and you don't have to be part of a guild. which the guild's, I guess, this game's version of partying up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering what is the guild?
Because once you
really
party
bring
up,
you?
So
you're able to see where your other people are. You share the same base, and if you go down, you can get your ass picked up.
Yeah. So if you're so like if me and you joined a world and we both created we both put our own pal the pal box
Pal box.
down to claim our base,
Yep.
we couldn't join a guild. We would have to get rid of one of them. And
Which
if-
I would be curious to test now, since we both can make 2 bases.
yeah, but I wouldn't want our bases 60
Yeah,
feet
no, I
apart.
wouldn't either. But
But yeah, basically, if you're not in a guild with someone, then if you walked over and tried to open my chest, it just says, no, fuck you. Or if you try to interact with any of my stuff, it just says no.
Yeah, I also saw for the chest where you can like password protect it. And
Well,
stuff
that,
like that.
yeah, I think that's like if you're in a guild and
Yeah.
you have like your
Yeah,
chest.
your own
it's-
chest.
It's
yeah.
like okay, this one's mine. You can't get into it.
Yeah, which is a great little addition because man, the amount of times that I've stolen people's shit on Minecraft, totally different thing. I mean, yeah, it's same realm, sure, but I have stolen people's diamonds more times than I can count.
Well, it's like when we found out you couldn't, like, you'd have to destroy a base for it, or one of our bases to do it. Zach walked over and he sent me an invite to join my guild, or like join a guild with me or something. And I just sitting there and went.
he went quiet for a moment.
I went quiet. I went. You're gonna mess with my shit, are you?
And I went, no. I was like, at worst, I'm going to bring my shit over.
This is my stuff.
I worked hard for this.
But yeah, the fact that you don't, or like everybody can go into it, you're not gonna. It's like, and you're not hurting either person or anything. The only thing is, like, in the dungeons, there's like the chests and stuff that spawn in there and the resources that spawn in there. Whoever gets it gets it. So it's just.
Which I'd be curious to test if we were actually going to guild together, if it's the same rules or not.
I mean, it probably would be the same rules. It's just we would be sharing resource, or we'd be going back to the same base to put the stuff in instead of 2
Yeah.
different ones. But yeah, it's definitely
There's a lot to this
it's-
game, a
it's-
lot more than honestly was expecting.
maps. The map is fucking huge compared to how long it takes to travel. It is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the flying aspect is cool. The flying's not super fast with the pals that I have right now. So it's convenient in some aspects, but it's still slow.
Yeah.
But it's super convenient for going over water. Since most of the time I leave most of my water pals are at the base working. Having a flying one, you can just fly over the water, because when you fly in it, if you're raised off the ground and actually flying around, it uses stamina, and you have to lower back to the ground into like a hover height. But the nice thing is, when you're going over water, hover height is just at the water level, so you can just go across it with no issue.
That's nice.
Yeah, no, it's like, as far as bugs and stuff too, I've only noticed a few things. Like, I got raided by some people last night and they were stuck in the wall, so I just had to wait on them to give up for the raid to end. Other than that, I've had some weird instances of like where I'd be mining ore or something, and then it's like I'd start walking away and then go into my inventory and it would start, like, it would just be sitting there duplicating it over and over and over.
Okay.
Because like I got on my mount and I was running to the fast travel,
Yeah.
and I watched. It's like I was watching my weight. It was just like, at that time I think my weight was like 600. It was like 600, 800, 1200, 1400, and I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck is happening? I had to drop the entire stack, because if I tried to drop part of the stack, it just kept going. But it's like little weird things like that where it's like something just bugged out.
Yeah. I mean, like I said earlier, there's a couple bugs here or there that I've noticed. I mean, like I said, my game crashed once. I've noticed one bug, and it was like when coming into the world, which this one, you see this stuff with online games anyway, where it's like a little slow to load your character.
Yeah.
Or it's like when it came into the game for me, like, like the default like female orange haired character that they've done for it. My character loaded in as that. for a second, for like probably about 3 or 4 seconds. So I was like, okay, whatever. I've had one glitch where my character's left arm was stuck out like this and right arm was stuck down his side, and he's just running around like that.
Oh, yeah,
glitched that.
I
Just little stuff, but like even if those little things are there, like again, they've nailed it on the game just being fun. That's the main thing.
I was about to say I've only gone to a few things like the game bricking my computer because for some reason my computer went Palworld, all the CPU, and I went, God damn.
Blue screen.
Then after coming back after unbricking my computer, I roll up and I'm just T-posing for like 2 minutes everywhere.
I like how with blue screens, they tried to make it a little less horrifying by adding a little smiley face on there versus what it used to be where it's just a big, like dark shade of blue with a bunch of text that you don't know what's happening. So they've tried to make it a little bit more friendly and say, hey, it blue screen, but you're fine. Everything will be fine. Don't panic. It's good. Don't worry about it. Here's a smiley face. Take the pressure off.
I will say, like with Palworld, one thing I can look at and I go, man, it's a good thing they nailed this over everything else. This game is built around exploring out to a distance, hitting a fast travel point, going back to your base, and then fast traveling around everywhere else. Or like you fast travel around to get places. Thank God fast traveling is near instantaneous.
Yeah, it's pretty damn quick.
It's near instantaneous. There's no lag or anything with it. You click fast travel and then you're there.
Yeah.
If it put you into a loading screen that took a few seconds or something, this game would suck.
I was about to say, with me, I mean, anytime I fast travel, I see a loading. All right, we're good.
Yeah, like for me, it basically I hit it, it fades to black, fades back in.
Yeah,
that's good. Love that.
It's like, and the fact that especially for a game built around the system, it's a good thing. It's fast.
True. No, the thing is now is like, we're seeing the numbers blow up for it on Steam. I saw where it had like 300, 400. I think at one point, like 600 concurrent players.
2 million copies in 24 hours.
Yeah, it's just insane. So now I'm just going to see like, okay, how long is this going to stay in the people's conversation? You know what I mean? Like, I think it's going to stay in the conversation a while. Like my prediction was coming into this year, I think Palworld is going to get a footing and it's going to stay. Okay, that's my prediction on it.
It's fun enough that even if the news about it and stuff dies down, it's going to stay at least above the water.
Now, I am going to be wondering, since it's all like early access and stuff, it's like, will they just continue to add more pals, just kind of like drop it in? It's just like, hey, you should start seeing this pal. And
they just add a new island.
Yeah.
That's been one concern for that I came into it with. And
because then they're all like 100?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's a concern that I have going into it, and other people, especially people from Craftopia, will have, because Craftopia has been in early access for
years,
like 4 years.
Yeah,
and it's like it's one of those games that's never going to exit early access, or it's like it never will, or it's not going to be satisfying when it does.
How do you feel about butchering people's pals? Every man for himself. Got to kill them. Got to get rid of them. Shout out to Andy. Andy's coming by to say hello.
But Alex, I just wanted to bring it up since you were mentioning it. 24-hour peak, 855,425 on Steam.
That does not include Game Pass or Epic Store.
That's some good shit.
Yeah, that is just the Steam client alone. And I will say it's like that's in high company for a like first day of a game coming out.
Yeah.
Because a lot of games take a few days to get rolling like that.
Yeah.
Especially for a game that had no fucking marketing.
Also, to answer Andy's thing, you can get literally a butcher blade that allows you to cut up your own pals.
Yeah, I did notice that you can hurt your own pals. I got so sad.
You can butcher your pals with the butcher knife when you unlock it. Fun fact, Alex.
Uh-oh.
If you capture people are pals.
I know. See, the one person that I came across, like I said, I killed him. I murdered him, and I dumped his body in the lake.
Well, no, like the butcher one, it'll like butcher them up.
Yeah, no, it puts them on a thing for you to chop them up.
It's not just killing them.
Yeah, no, you actually butcher them.
No, I'm following. I'm following that you actually butcher them.
Yeah, but yeah, if you capture people, you can use the butcher knife on them. I haven't done it yet. I haven't made the butcher knife yet.
But
But it is something you can do, and that's what's important. An option. The game is filled with option.
Yeah. I've been making incubators and trying to hatch eggs today. Because you get some wacky shit from eggs. There's no rhyme or reason to why I'm getting what I'm getting.
I've got the incubator, but I haven't used it yet.
Like I said, I didn't have a lot of it. I had like 1 or 2 eggs that I found
I've
around.
got 2.
As soon as I started flying around, I came back with like 14.
Oh, I mean, yeah, no, on my
I've got a big chest that's literally nothing but eggs.
in my pile of stuff in the woods, I have like 8 eggs amongst it.
Your pile of stuff.
Yeah, I ran into a syndicate battle in an Ember Wolf, and in the middle of the night, and got fucked up.
I've died a few times to random things. The Xerneas looking deer, that's killed me. The Breloom Meganium looking thing, that killed me.
Yeah, I got a big one of those deer.
Oh, really?
I got one of the special like glowing light ones.
The lucky one?
The
Yeah.
lucky ones. I got one of those. It's fucking huge.
I want that mammoth. The king of the forest that's just walking
I assume
around.
you can saddle it.
I want him.
Your deer.
Oh, the
I would-
deer, yeah.
yeah,
No, I was
I
talking
was-
about that thing he's talking about. I'm not fighting that thing yet.
I want it.
That was a conversation last night because my camp's just staring at it all day. And I went, "So John, when we gonna fight it?"
Yeah, I want it.
I was talking to our buddy of the server earlier, and he was like, yeah, occasionally some of these like kind of wander in here, and I just fire a shot at them, and then all my guys kind of just go to town on them. I was like, yeah. Alternatively, the king of the forest shows up, walks through my base, and I just let him do whatever he wants.
That is the correct response.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, sometimes he's in the way, and I'm like, what am I gonna do about it? Tell him to move?
Isn't he like
He's
level
not-
30?
He's 38.
38? Okay. Like, Jesus.
I'm like, he's not one of my guys. I can't just throw him at a table and say work.
I was about to say he's mid to in game.
Yeah, no, that's still like, I'm not worried about that. I found 2 of those fighting out in the wild.
So I found
2
that's-
mammoths?
Yeah.
Man.
I found 2 of them fighting out in the wild. I got a little too close and got 1 shot.
I found him as well. I attempted to catch it when it was low. I had a 2% with the Mega Ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I found him and I tried to catch it, I had a 0.2% chance.
Hey, the percentage chance is there. That's all that matters.
Oh, believe me, that's like, because in the battles where you have to go into an arena to fight like the boss or something, you can catch those still, and they're much bigger versions of. And then when they're in your PAL box, they have a little boss icon, so that you know which one's the big one.
Okay. Kind of like, so basically kind of like what you were saying earlier about alpha Pokemon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's like
At least it's got that indication.
But I made a whole bunch of the Mega Balls, and I'm like sitting there in a boss fight, 18% chance to catch it. I'm just like, I got the timing down for when it comes out of the ball. I can hit it before my pal hits it again. Because I'm like, it's at 1% health. It's dying to the burn right now.
Right.
Why
So
not just recall your pal?
It was.
I always forget
It was
to do that.
It was the one that kept hitting it was the one that I have that's just always out.
Oh, okay. Your
But
dream, your daydream.
But yeah, so I'm just like throwing the ball at it. It's like 18% chance. I'm like, I got like 60 of these bitches. Like, I'm getting.
I keep going.
It's like I'm getting you. It's just a matter of how much resources you take.
Yeah.
Because at this point, I just unlocked the 3rd tier of ball, so like the Ultra Ball.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that. It takes a lot more resources though. But I've been gathering them up so I can. Well, actually, I used a lot of my, like the blue crystal stuff that you need.
The Pandemonium.
I'm damn near out of that now. I gotta go find some more.
Just throw your stone in the crusher.
Yeah, I can do that, but then I gotta wait on it to work.
Go explore.
But I want the better ball to go explore with.
You're going to pick something here.
I'm not looking for solutions. I'm looking to complain.
All right, that's fair. That's a John move.
It's like I had to tell Zach that last night at one point because I was complaining about something. He goes, just do this. I'm like, no, I'm not caving.
I just want to complain. Let me complain.
It's like so far my favorite thing is just like because we're in the same world, but we'll go off do our own things for an hour or 2 hours or 3 hours, and then we meet back up, and then it's just running back and forth between our bases, going, "Look at this thing." It's like, "Look at what I have here. Watch me do this." But so yeah, it's a lot of fun because it's got that like creature catching aspect of Pokemon, but like the ones we have in this are also just they're vastly different from like what you would typically look at and go, "That's a Pokemon." Like some of them you look at, you go, "Yeah, that could be a Pokemon," or you look at it, you go, "Yeah, this is made from this Pokemon." Or something.
Yeah.
It's like you do that a lot.
There's a lot of them.
You do that a lot, and then some of them you look at, you go, "It's like fucking cool."
Yeah, I mean, like I've seen obviously Lucario, Anubis. There is like the grass type Cinderace. I've seen that. There's a Luxray inspired one, 100%. Like I said, the one that I caught was like a combo of Meganium and Breloom, and then there's like the deer that's like Xerneas, basically.
What was the 8th gen Wooper evolution?
That is.
Oh yeah, your dumb thing you got from the egg last night.
9th gen. That's Quagsire. Clodsire.
Yeah, Clodsire.
So you know how that thing just flops around?
Yeah.
Imagine that, but it's got a shark fin.
All right, I love it because I love Clodsire.
And it's got its eyes are just like 2D plastered on his face.
Yeah, no, it's dopey as all get out. Because the best thing about how our bases are set up currently, I'm at the bottom of the hill, so whenever John says, "Hey, come check this out," I get on my Dire Hound and I roll up, and he's right at the cliff. He's like,
or I'll just go, "Hey Zach, are you at your base?" He's like, "Yeah." I go, "Hey, come up this way." I see him like come across the bridge, and I just throw it out towards him. I go, "Look at this piece of shit."
Because he showed that thing he was just talking about. I went, "This poor soul, why have you put it on land?"
I found them in the wild. They are on land.
Oh god damn it.
They're not even water creatures.
Well, because based on its color, I assumed it was Earth, but still.
Yeah, I've found them, man. I got a badass turtle.
Love a turtle.
It's man. I also got a big cow.
Love a cow.
Yeah.
It's just a weirdly proportioned cow.
It really is.
There's nothing special about it. It's just a cow.
It's just very rotund.
Andy says, "Love me a flopping Quagsire." I agree. I love me a flopping Quagsire as well. Or Clodsire in this case. God, Clodsire, he is so damn derpy. I love that derpy ass bastard in Scarlet and Violet. What you looking up, John? I think he's trying to find something that he's got. But no, when it comes to Palworld, like I said earlier, to kind of lead things off is like just thank God they stuck the landing and just the game being fun, because that's been the main thing that I've seen about the reception on Twitter and stuff, is that everyone's saying it's like, this game is so much fun. This game has no business being this fun. This is one of the funnest games I've played in a while, et cetera, et cetera.
Yep, that's it.
You know what else that looks like? It looks like a big derpy version of the little fish Digimon that you can start off in one of the Cyber Sleuths. It looks like that too. It either looks like a big derpy Clodsire with a fin, or it looks like
that
the Digimon.
picture doesn't do it justice because it's from the front.
Yeah.
The best part is when you see this like flopping around.
I'm trying to remember the name of that Digimon. Is it a Lekmon, maybe? I don't remember. I think it might. I don't know. But I just know it was one of your starter Digimon, the little fish dude. Yeah, that's what that looks like. Either it looks like that Digimon, or it looks like Clodsire with a fin. 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
the side profile would get you a better idea of why I'm saying like Clodsire.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, there's definitely some cool stuff out there.
Yeah.
Like in the game. It's fun to explore. It's fun having, like, even though we're not in a guild or anything, just having people in the world running around that you can, like I said, the fun aspect of just walking over and going, look at this thing.
Yeah.
Or like,
Look what I got. Look what I found.
like earlier today, me and my buddy, we were just like running back and forth because our bases are 15 feet from each other. We're just like running back to our PAL box, pulling stuff out, jumping on them, and just being like, just riding it around, going, going, yeah. He like pulls out a cool looking mount or something. I'm like, yeah. Well, look what I got. I pull out this slow moving piece of nothing.
Yeah, no, it was great. His first mount was a boar. He rolled up, and I was just like, "Oh, you got a boar?" He's like, "Yeah, it's great." Then he started riding. He was like,
Well,
he's slow as shit.
I had already jumped on him, and I see Zach's talking up as like dire wolf. He's like, yeah, this thing's quick as shit. And I was like, oh yeah, we'll check out the speed on this thing.
Oh, that's great.
But yeah, just the game is made infinitely better by being able to like harness the pals.
Yeah.
Like put the harnesses on the pals and just have it a little bit of variety to it.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's a bunch of different ones you can ride around as a mount on. There's a bunch of different ones you can fly around with. There's several utility ones. So it's like you can kind of just pick which one you like between the ones that you have.
Yeah,
access
there's a
to.
decent variety because then there's like the few like Tansy or Leaf Monk where they don't actually do anything with you. They just get weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I haven't messed with the harnesses for those yet. I've got some where it's like I've got one where like putting the harness on it just gives me an ability that I can make them do.
Yeah.
Like when they're out fighting. I don't really know what it does yet. Haven't done it. But I don't know. I'm gonna play the shit out of this game.
Oh yeah. No, I mean it's like I said, it's a blast to play. I'm looking forward to hopping back on it later as well as tomorrow night as well.
And I'm looking forward to seeing whenever it comes around what kind of content updates we'll
That's
actually see.
That's the big thing that I'm looking forward to is like again, are we just gonna have like new pals just drop in? Like, hey, starting on this day, you're gonna start seeing these. I'm curious how that's gonna work.
It could be that or environmental changes.
Yeah.
Like slight map changes.
I wonder if they'll do that too, like based on like maybe times of the year, like they do like some sort of like some event of some capacity where it's like just like the weather changes in this area, like or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I'm just curious what's going to be the direction for all of this. I think with how well this game has started amongst everything with all the reviews and just the amount of players, I would like to believe they're not going to completely drop the ball. We're going to get decent content as time goes on. I'm just curious how it's going to be. That's going to be my curiosity. Because I want to say there was only like 100 pals. I could be wrong.
I mean, that's what they were promoting. There was 100 pals.
Yeah. So I'm just curious when we're going to get to see like maybe like another batch, whether if it's like a small batch of 5, maybe 10, 20, I don't know what they plan to do. I have no clue. But they're obviously working on it.
We hope.
You hope. True. But that's the thing I'm going to be looking forward to. But bottom line, Palworld is amazing. If you got Game Pass, there's no reason not to try it, especially if you're a Pokemon fan and stuff. And even if you're not a big survival player, this is a pretty fun survival game because I'm not a big survival player. That's not my genre. The most survival game that I play is freaking Minecraft. I don't play other survival games, and I'm enjoying this.
The survival aspects of this game, it's survival light. It's like it's all you're not managing food and injuries and stuff like that. It's just a hunger system that is used, and that's how you heal, basically.
Yeah. So it's definitely on the light side from what I know of survival games. So even if you don't like survival games, it's all good. You can still enjoy this game because it's just a dumb fun time.